This is Thrill Kill, a PlayStation 1 beat-em-up style video game that was published by Paradox Development. It was originally intended to be released in 1998. The game's plot involves 10 characters that get sent to hell after dying on Earth and are forced by Maraka, the goddess of secrets, to fight to the death for a chance at reincarnation. It was marked as one of the first 4-player 3D fighting games, as up to 4 players were able to play at once using the PlayStation multi-tap. Each player is given a kill meter that increases with each successful attack, which once filled, executes a gory finishing move called a thrill kill. Thrill Kill began development as Earth Monster, a sports video game based on Mesoamerican ball games in which characters attacked one another as they tried to get the ball into a hoop. As developers were repeatedly pushed by publisher Virgin Interactive to make a more violent game, Earth Monster's concept was scrapped in favor for an adult-oriented BDSM-themed fighting game. It gained a large following prior to its release for its overly sexual and gory content, and received one of the first ever adult-only ratings from the Entertainment Software Rating Board, also becoming the first game to receive the rating for its violence. Reviewers of the beta version of Thrill Kill considered it fun but unfinished. The game was scheduled to be published by Virgin Interactive, but Electronic Arts gained the publishing rights the same year and chose not to release the game or sell it to other publishers due to its graphic content. Bootleg versions of the game were uploaded to pirating websites, and it became especially popular as a ROM. Following its cancellation, Thrill Kill was reskinned to make the 1999 Activision video game Wu-Tang Shaolin Style, also developed by Paradox, who went on to use Thrill Kill's engine in several other games. In Thrill Kill's gameplay, you can have up to 4 opponents in a closed 3D room fighting to kill one another, one by one, using gory special moves known as Thrill Kills. The 4 attack buttons correspond to each character's arms and legs, while attacks are blocked by standing still or by holding the guard down button. Double tapping in any direction allows players to dash. Each character has 4 throws, including a swap throw, which causes the player who performs it and the opponent to switch places, and a hold throw, which pins opponents down in front of the character that performs it. Characters can also perform both high and low counter hits. Instead of the usual health bar, characters have a kill meter that increases with each successful attack performed. Whichever character fills this meter first must use the thrill kill on another opponent of their choice, which kills them and removes them from the round. The manner of the kill depends on the button input upon grabbing the other character. The round then repeats without the defeated character, with the character who performed a thrill kill in the prior round earning a small boost to their kill meter at the start of the round. This continues until there are 2 fighters left, and whichever fighter's kill meter fills up first wins, triggering a final character-specific death animation. You thought I was just gonna let this slide? This may be an information video, but that doesn't eliminate that niggas are about to get caught!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
No. Is that Poopy? We can literally see the poop pixels. Dude literally has NASCAR streaks in his underwear. Boy's built like 1/2 of a ketchup packet. Anyways, let's get back to talking about the gameplay. Players can choose up to 4 different modes. Arcade mode puts players through 8 stages against computer-controlled opponents. The first 6 stages are 4-player matches, while the latter 2 are one-on-one battles against the characters Judas and Maraka, respectively. Versus mode allows players to fight up to 3 other players or computer-controlled fighters. In order to play with all 4 players, players require a PlayStation multi-tap. Team mode splits players into 2 teams, with each team sharing a single kill meter. Training mode is a single player mode which allows players to test individual characters' moves on a computer opponent. Performing each move in a character's moveset in this mode unlocks a 5th costume for the character. This game also includes some devastating maps, like Dante's Cage, the Crematorium, Sacrificial Ruins, Chamber of Anguish, the Lavatory, Insane Asylum, Slaughterhouse of Flesh, The Sewer of Sticks, Sinner's Cell, and the Homicide Avenue. Don't those just sound great? Man, I just sounded like a terrible used car salesman. But anyways, in the story of Thrill Kill, Muraka decides out of boredom to gather 10 people who have been sent to hell for their sins to fight to the death for a chance of being reincarnated. And there's 11 playable characters. Belladonna, a librarian who became a dominatrix and killed both her husband and her sister after discovering they were having an affair. She died after electrocuting herself with a castle prod. She now uses this prod to fight and has sexually suggestive moves. Now I ain't gonna lie, you feel me? Like, I ain't gonna lie, listen, if me and Belladonna were in a room together, you don't even know the things I would do. Nigga, the things I would do would be... Man, really, all you gotta do is look at the knockers, the balloongas, the melons. We're moving on. And then there's Kane, an arsonist who got trapped inside of a building he set on fire and was burned alive. His attacks have the wildest range in the game, and Buddy can also shoot fire out of his ass. Listen, man, if somebody could shoot fire out of their rectal cavity, I am telling you right now, they've been eating too much Taco Bell with that hot ass goddamn Diablo sauce on it, and clearly from it trying to excrete out of his body, it also sizzled away at his goddamn hairline. My boy looks like goddamn bootleg Mr. Clean. And then we got Cletus, a cannibal who sold home-style sausages made from human remains, and then his leg-eaten ass died from a tapeworm infection. He fights using a bloody detached leg and can also bite his opponents, man. He's crazy, man. Stay away from him. He's off that crank. Then we got Dr. Faustus, a plastic surgeon who killed and purposely disfigured his patients and died from an infection after trying to put a bear trap in his face. His weapon is a scalpel, and he also attacks using his metal mouth. Boy looks like a great value Five Nights at Freddy's character. Boy look like a bootleg Chica. Buddy looks like a cheese doodle with a saw contraption for a mouth. Then we got the Imp, a dwarf with a hatred for tall people, who died after amputating his legs and sticking stilts in them. Unlike the rest of the characters, excluding Judas, the Imp is not revealed to have killed anyone during his time on Earth. He uses his stilts as weapons. Some members of the Paradox team resented the Thrill Kill producer Harvard Bonin for attempting to change the game to give it a different ESRB rating and modeled the Imp after Bonin as a jab at him. Jesus Christ, what in the ba-da-ba-ba-ba am I looking at, bro? I mean, shit, it's a striking resemblance. Why does every character in this game have their crack out? And then we have Judas, a pair of conjoined twins connected at the torso. It's never explained how Judas ended up in hell, while one of the twins acts as the upper half and the other acts as the lower half, using its arms to hold them up. Judas is really tied together, if we really think about it, by a red piece of licorice. What in the cat dog? Hey, where does the poopy come from? This looks like the prototype of a human centipede. And then we got Mammoth, a postal employee who went postal after getting fired. He resembles a large skinless gorilla and fights with his fist. Boy, I'm on your baboon built body ass. Tank from Left 4 Dead 2 built body ass. Upside down water bottle built body ass. Corn dog bomb built body ass. Wow. I didn't know Harambe delivered mail before he got shot. And then we got Muraka, a demon and the goddess of secrets who gathers the other fighters to brawl for a chance of being reincarnated. While fighting, she can teleport. Also, while she fights, she does this annoying spin thing that does no damage, but it just knocks you back. It was incredibly annoying to fight her, and honestly, if I could, I would strangle her. I'm gonna be very real with you. Before I even fight this thing again, I would rather stick my dick in a bear trap before attempting to fight this creature ever again. Get it away from me. Goodbye. We also have Oddball, an FBI behavioral analyst who became a serial killer. He still wears a straitjacket in hell and can't use his arms, so he primarily uses his feet and headbutts to attack and can also break dance, so that's cool, I guess. Oh, he also has a move where he does a front flip aerial in midair while simultaneously putting a decade not washed asshole and never shaved shaft and sack on your character while spinning your head off like you're playing Bop at the start. Buddy looks like an off-brand Sideshow Bob. Buddy looks like if Bart Simpson had a bad childhood. Buddy looks like Blanca lost all his muscle. Let's talk about Tormentor, a judge, real name William Whitefield, who would acquit criminals in order to kidnap and torture them later, and was eventually executed for his crimes. His outfit is bondage themed, and he fights using a heated whip. Everything about this character seems racially motivated. I'm not gonna lie. Last name Whitefield, right hand whip. And then we got the final character, Violet. A circus contortionist who developed a strong hatred for men after being by one who broke into her dressing room, whom she later killed. She died of a spinal cord rupture. She uses her contortion skills to fight opponents. All the jokes that I had just flew out the window, so yeah. What are you, a clown? Got her. There's a 12th non-playable character called the Gimp, and he was inspired by the Pulp Fiction movie that was made in 1994. You can unlock him as an opponent in the training room, but he literally, you can't play him, so it's like, yeah, you suck, idiot, get wrecked. You didn't even get the coding to be playable, stupid. Alright, now, since this game is unreleased, but there are bootleg ROMs on the internet, I could not help myself, so I went and found a ROM, downloaded it, went and found an emulator, downloaded it, and actually played the game for 2 to 3 hours. Playing this game was actually fun, believe it or not. And during these 2 to 3 hours of playing, I actually didn't get any endings because this game was actually goddamn hard. On normal, it felt like after the 2nd or 3rd stage, literally one of the computers will become cracked and just start whooping everybody on the board, bro. So if normal is hard, hard is cracked, and very hard is don't touch this game unless you want an aneurysm. And just because I didn't beat the game with all the characters doesn't mean we can't talk about the endings of each character, because that's exactly what we're about to do right now. So, in order to get these endings to every character, you would have to play each character individually and beat the last boss, Maraca, to unlock the character's ending. Let's talk about Belladonna's ending. Belladonna gets out the shower to hear the answering machine of a person who I would assume is a private agent saying that she was right about her husband cheating. So he came home, walks up the stairs to be greeted by Belladonna holding her infamous cattle prod and in her dominatrix outfit. The thing that doesn't make sense to me is reading her lore, it never actually explains why she's a librarian or why she uses this outfit. Like, it's literally never explained, so yeah. Violet's kill throw ending, it shows the camera zoom into a circus to reveal that Violet is on stage, and then a random man comes up to her saying, "Baby, come here." And then she does a backflip onto his shoulder and breaks his neck, and everybody starts laughing. Kane's thrill kill ending shows Kane spilling gasoline everywhere, I'm guessing at a gas station, then lighting a torch and being engulfed in flames. And then he laughs walking around town after being set on fire. This is the literal opposite of what the lore says what happens to him. But we're just gonna move on because I understand the game isn't released. Dr. Faustus's ending, you are greeted by a Holter monitor as the camera zooms out to show the patient on the operating table. A nurse asks Dr. Faustus is something wrong, and he removes his mask to show a metal mouth contraption he affixed to his face, and then shows the tools he's going to use to kill his patient. Cletus's ending shows Cletus and a health inspector in a food processing plant as the health inspector fails Cletus on every single inspection, and he wasn't so fond of that, so he decided to push the health inspector into the meat grinder and kills the health inspector, while also going on TV to advertise his meat being the freshest in town. But he really killed a health inspector and made glizzies out of him. That's crazy. Imagine being turned into a wiener. Also imagine Judas's ending. Actually, I'm going to tell you right now. Basically shows a mother giving birth to Judas and him coming out as the conjoined twin. That's literally it. The Tormentor's ending shows William Whitefield, aka the Tormentor, in his office watching the news after acquitting a killer. As he gets up, he pulls a book revealing a secret room that has the man he acquitted hanging by the arms and legs. As he puts on his outfit, he grabs the very whip he uses in hell and uses it on his victims as the door shuts behind him. The Imp's ending shows the Imp walking to a podium as he's being elected to be the president of the United States. But in reality, he wakes up in his bed and he removes his blanket to reveal the stilts he uses to increase his height, I guess, and sits up and cries. The Mammoth ending shows a granny getting her early bird gets the worm on by getting her morning newspaper as she turns to see the postal service truck is outside her home being destroyed from the inside. And Lord and behold, the mammoth breaks out, spilling all the newspaper on the pavement, walks up to the granny and just folds her like a cheap lawn chair, stuffing her body inside the mailbox she was about to open. My only question is, did he get fired as a human and then transform like the Hulk into the mammoth? Like, what happened? The world will never know. And now we are brought to our final ending, and that is the oddball ending. The start of this ending shows a man being put to death in a coffin, and then the camera zooms into the oddball's eyes and then shortly zooms out to show that the oddball himself is in the coffin-like machine and he's gone crazy. From playing the game to reading the lore and exploring the endings of this game, a lot of it doesn't make sense. And to be honest, I don't expect it to make sense. During this time, video games were fairly new, and this game was made to create controversy to attempt to boost mainstream media attention to Virgin Interactive. But even so, it doesn't take away the appeal of the game, and it actually still being enjoyable and playable. And looking back, if this game was released, I think it would have actually done just exactly what it was intended to do, cause some media havoc and be played by the people who actually enjoyed the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But before I actually end the video, the one thing I left out in this game was actually talking about their individual thrill kills. And I think that if I would have added this part, YouTube would have clapped me and demonetized my video. So I'm going to add this piece to the exclusive content. And if you guys want to see it, hit that join button. Shout out to all of our subscribers. And shout out our first channel member, Lock and Load Gaming. Thank you everybody for watching.